We want to welcome you guys up to the class tonight. This class this evening is just titled How to Be a Savvy Consumer. We have lots of different ideas that we've prepared to help you, teach you how to save money. If you guys have ideas or thoughts, please feel free to share them. Just as a few notes for introduction, my name is Shelly LeBeau, and I'm the finance coordinator at the US State University's Extension Office. And then we have Lindsay Hubbard over here and Kirsten Huang, and they are our finance program assistants, and they're both going to be teaching the class tonight as well, along with me. There is a video camera behind you. Please don't feel self-conscious. They're not recording you, but they are recording the presentation. This grant that's sponsored this class so that it's free of charge to everybody in the community comes by way of INRA, and they're the Financial Industry Regulatory Authority, and in partnership with the American Library Association and then the Salt Lake County Library System wrote for the grant to receive this money. So we had $100,000 to provide education to citizens in Salt Lake County all over the 2 years. So that's where that's coming from. Some of you might be wondering, how is this funded? And that's exactly where. This video will be posted on the internet at a later date, so if you want to refer back to it, you can. And feel free to ask any questions that you have. At the end, we will do a post-test just for purposes of the grant. If you have other questions on there or something's not clear or you want us to touch on something in the next 3 weeks that we're here, because we're here every Wednesday in April, throw down your questions there and we'd be happy to tailor presentations and address your questions as they come up. So, last item of business. As educators, we're not sponsoring like one business over another. We are going to just share some examples in the presentation of places that price match, or places you can go to get good deals on like ads and things like that, or secondhand items. Please realize we're not trying to force you to go to those places, we're just making you aware of different services. And you might know of places that price matches auto parts and you want to share that with the class, so feel free. We do learn a lot from you, we're excited to have you guys here. And so without further ado, I'm going to turn the time over to Kirsten and Lindsay.
Okay, so obviously we're going to talk today about how to be a savvy consumer. So we're just going to start off by kind of defining what it is. So I'm going to first ask you guys if any of you have a thought or opinion about what you think a savvy consumer is or what they look like. Or
somebody that budgets all the money in their assets.
Okay, good. So they're a good budgeter and they know how to kind of put their money in different places and stuff. Okay. Anyone else have any other ideas?
Someone uses coupons.
Coupons? Okay, good. We have a couple up here. So the first one we put is being knowledgeable about how to spend your money. So this is knowing where you spend your money, where you could possibly cut back on spending money if you don't need it there. Knowing how to research and look for good deals. This would be where coupons would come in. Being able to discipline yourself when it comes to your finances. Budgeting. So this is knowing what you need to buy first and spending money on that. And then seeing how much money you have left over that you can spend on things that you would like to buy instead.
On that too, so knowing your needs versus your wants is really awesome. Yeah.
And then being in control of your finances.
So why should we be savvy consumers? It seems like it's a kind of like just because, but what do you guys think? Anybody want to share?
Financially stable in the future.
Okay, so I like that, stable and future. So being financially stable and planning ahead for your future. So the first one we have to save money. It's not always easy, but it's smart. To see where you're spending money. So we touched on budgeting. You can kind of figure out, like Kirsten was saying, I can cut back here, I can put more in here to become a better shopper spender. Hopefully at the end of this, you guys will be savvy consumers. I know we're finding good deals, how to use coupons, maybe you can use more than one at a time and get the best deal. And to ensure that you and your money are protected. So again, for your future, if you have a backup, when bad things happen, you don't always find maybe break your arm or get a car accident, you have a backup just in case. And then you feel empowered to plan for your future. So.
Okay, so the first thing we're kind of going to hit on is saving money. This is obviously one of the first steps to becoming a savvy consumer is figuring out how to save money, where you can save money, all that good stuff. So obviously start saving today. It's never too late to start saving, so always keep that in mind. Even if you haven't been saving up until now, it's never too late to start.
And it can be small. Yeah, it can be like just a tiny bit, but some is better than nothing. Yeah.
Work overtime or extra shifts when you can and save your raise or bonus. Obviously, when you go to raise your bonus, it's going to be really tempting to spend that extra little money every once in a while. But keep in mind when you do save it, that it's going to add up really quickly for you.
That's the biggest thing right now. Not even a budget.
Right.
What you have to make is something to stay with what you live in society, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Right. And it's hard. It's not easy, that's for sure. But
So I have a question.
yeah.
If I don't have a job, how I save money?
If you don't have a job, how do you save money? That's a good question.
That is kind of tricky.
Yeah. Do you want to help, Shauna?
Are there other little things you can do? So sometimes you don't, and we'll touch on this, a little slide that we have earlier on is like extra income. So you may not actually have an employer, like you're not working at a store, but is there other things that you can do like on the side? Like maybe it's making and selling bracelets, or maybe it's lawn mowing. We talked about a few different things that you can do yourself and raise money in that way. Or if you have like chickens, you can sell your eggs or stuff like that. You think that?
Do you really not know to save money? So you have enough money that it takes, so you have to save it.
More to say.
So if you don't have enough to get money, how you save the money?
We'll touch on that, like they said, just a second. Do you have any like talents or skills? Are you a good cook?
No.
No. Do you know how to sew, or are you interested in sewing? If they do teach classes on Saturdays at the Meadowbrook campus of Salt Lake Community College, they have sewing, like beginning sewing and a more advanced class, and this is open to anybody. But you could go and take sewing lessons there and then receive a certificate, and then you could go in, and sewing right now actually is a great way to earn extra money. There are some ladies that we have spoken with that sew just on the side. They'll make clothes for people, or they'll actually design clothes and sell them, and they make between $400 to $1,000.
So that's cool. You have to set up the website.
You can. Some of them have it set up on websites, and some of them actually work as 1099 contract employees for like factories and stuff like that. So if you like sewing, a lot of times, and that's not only clothes, but it's like bags and outdoor gear, like mountain stuff. You could just like get the information, turn in your application, and say, great, we need you to sew this. They give you the projects. Sometimes they have machines right in their office. Sometimes you just use your own machines. You sew, you turn it in, and they send you the money. And you don't have to supply your own website or get your own business license because you're working kind of under that.
Oh, that's awesome. So I'm trying to get something set up for my others. She can do something on the side, and then she's not going to be a job.
Right. That might be a really great way and thing for her to check into. So if you want to leave your email address or just after, I can gather some information and
That
send
would
it
be
your way.
awesome.
Let's do that for sure.
Another thing you might want to consider is that we're not just talking about money that we earn from jobs. We're talking about money that you might get for subsistence or food stamps or any sort of extra thing, Social Security, any sort of money coming into your house, whether it be from earning it from a job or earning it in another way, disability and things like that. So other ways that you may be getting money into your home.
Just to kind of end the slide, participating in 401ks or 403b plans for your employer. Some employers will match you into a 401k. So if your employer does provide 401k, it's important to ask them if they do match. Because if they do, they will definitely want to match.
Yeah, a lot of times they'll have like a max amount. So if you put in some amount, they'll match the same. So it may be a lot of money, but if they're matching, you get double.
Yeah.
So if you're able to make that match, and a lot of people would advise you to do so. You can retire earlier, save money, so it helps in the long run.
And then this kind of goes with saving your raises or bonus, but using your tax return to build savings. Again, when we get that check randomly in the mail, it's really tempting to go spend it. But it's important to remember that if we can save that, then again, that's just going to add to building our savings up. So, okay, then we'll do more on savings. Keep making payments when you pay off the debt. So this could be like if you have a car loan, and let's say you're paying $200 to that car loan every month. Well, once you have your car loan paid off, if you keep putting $200 into your savings account instead of paying your car loan, then that's another way to build your account. And it's not going to seem like you're spending any more money because it's going to be the same amount that you were using to pay off your debt previously. Set up a percentage of your paycheck to automatically build the savings. And we suggest that women save about 12% and men save about 10%. That's only because women usually live longer than men. So we need more money because we're living longer. And just an example of this, my dad, when he gets his paycheck every month, he puts $25 into my savings account. It automatically comes out of his paycheck. He doesn't even see the money. So it helps because when you don't see the money, it doesn't feel like you're spending it, So he'll get a set amount and then it just automatically goes into my savings account. So slowly I'm adding up my savings account, but it's not hurting my dad, or he's not tempted to be like, you know what, this month I'm going to keep the $25. It just automatically goes in there. He doesn't have to think about it, doesn't have to see it. Put change into a jar or piggy bank and let it grow over time. So I got a piggy bank and I put it on my desk about 2 weeks ago. And I counted it today because I wanted to use this as an example. And I had about $5.30 in there just from 2 weeks of saving change. So I did the math. If I saved that much money for the rest of the year, I'd have about $130 in that piggy bank. So, that's a huge amount of change that would just be sitting around otherwise.
Well, how many of us, a couple of, you pull out the pocket change at the other day, you're kind of like it's nothing, it's not much of a big deal. So we put it away, because it adds up. Me and my husband actually have a piggy bank. We try to only put quarters in it, but that's like our vacation thing. So when it fills up, we're going to empty it out and see if we have enough to go on a little road trip. Or it doesn't have to be a big thing, but something that we're kind of excited to look forward to. Or you can just take a straight thing and put it in your savings. So whatever you kind of want to do with it. But we do that. It's pretty fun. Yeah.
I have a question.
Sure.
You say you have to save money when you get a check, spend $15 or $5, for example.
Mm-hmm.
2014, plus 2 years. I was working. I openly checking my bank and savings. I said, I want a nice car, I don't want a bar. It was a bar. I said, I put checking every check, I put 100. When you go get 5,000, I go get another nice car when I want.
Mm-hmm.
After I get 2,000 in a checking, the always say the people says, I see your account, you have 2,000. Right now, no more food stamp, no more nothing give it to you, go eat, take it out that check your saving, your money, the check saving, go buy food and give it any more food right now, you have money checking. How I say? Food stamp, they take it. I think in money I was saving that for buy a car, I go buy food, no more food stamp. How I say? I can't save because I have kids, I have to buy food. I can't save. How I save?
So, again, just a little bit at a time. Because sometimes you can make almost an intro, and we can touch on this too if you want. But save your money.
When I save the checking, when we always checking in my account, looking at 1,000, no more give food stuff. Say, go take your money.
Sean might know more about food stamps, and I do.
So it is a fine line. So we're talking about different ways to save money, and then if you have any suggestions.
I understand. I can save money because I have family.
Right. And when we have, being adults costs a lot of money. We all agree. Is it fun that our paychecks have to go to pay for rent and for food?
Yeah.
No, it's not. But when you have the public assistance, so food stamps, sometimes housing assistance and things like that, those programs are designed to be temporary. So the purpose of those programs is to help families for a short time while they're getting back up on their feet. You are a perfect example of somebody who works hard, who was very disciplined and able to save that money. And so when you turn in your income verifications, because the state will ask you for your income verification for your bank statements every 3 months or once a year, or however long it is, they say, okay, she has money that she's able to save, she no longer needs help with this program. And then people that were on food stamps, it's frustrating because you're working, and then you show I was able to save $1,000 or I was able to save $5,000. It's important to keep in mind that food stamps and housing assistance are only intended to be temporary help. So it's not intended that they're going to give you that money for the rest of your life. But it's a chance for you to kind of get back up on your feet, receive training, or learn English, or whatever it is your goal is, whatever you want to do. And then you start working, you find a better job that pays a little bit more, and then you start saving. And I think it is really important because you're able to save a lot of money. You're able to save $100 a paycheck, or sometimes even more than that. Right now, I am able to save $50 a month. And to me, I am frustrated because that's not a lot to me. Why can't I save $50? That's because I have to pay for so much else. But if I save $50 a month, every single month, slowly that's going to add up. And so I think it's important to remember to be patient as well. Lindsay's little jar that she has, they're throwing their change in there to go on their vacation. It would be a lot more fun if she could take her whole paycheck and go to Europe or to go to Canada or wherever. So it's just important to remember to be patient. And do any of you guys have suggestions or ideas on savings?
With the food for another kids. Yes, my mom was really poor, and she didn't have any type of income. So it became very important to learn how to shop for coupons. Coupons is a great thing. You need a lot of things and a lot of it. It just takes the time.
Coupons is good. Do you guys have any suggestions?
We shop the ads when we buy stuff that's on sale. If it's not on sale,
You don't buy it.
we don't buy it, so we go without it if it's not on sale.
And we'll touch on that. So coupons are a huge thing, and they're going to show you, or we'll talk a little bit about what coupons are. And then when you go, what grocery store, where do you like to buy your food?
Winco?
At Winco? Okay. So when you go into Winco, Winco is a great place you can get it because their prices are good.
Yeah,
they're good.
Yes.
But when you go in, do you ever see like those like newspaper ads with like their prices and deals?
Yes.
So I would grab one of those, and maybe go just grab one and then go home and you'll make your shopping list. But buying stuff that's only on sale is really, really important. Buying fruit that's in season. Like I love springtime because strawberries are on sale. But you have to watch so you're not spending like $5 at carton or something like that. So great question and great points.
Okay, so just to wrap up, a little on savings. Obviously, pay your credit card off each month to avoid interest and late fees. And then price matching. So price matching, I don't know if we talked about this later or not, so I'll just explain it now. But price matching is basically if you find a product or an item that costs a certain amount, say online. Say you look at a radio online and it's $30, and then you go to a store and you see the same radio and it's $40. If this store price matches, you can take it up to the cashier and say, I found this online, here's the site and it's $30. Can you sell it to me for $30? And if they price match, then they will give you it for $30, which is what the online one was. So a couple of examples of like stores that price match are like Michael's for crafts, Walmart price matches, Home Depot price matches. So just if you're ever looking for a good deal or you see something that you saw cheaper somewhere else, always ask if they price check or price match because that could save you some money as well.
Okay. We're going to sell clothing. That's a big one, I think, for the girls. For guys, too. But for girls, we like to do our shopping. So first one, take advantage of the off-season sales. So winter coats go on sale when spring begins. I was just in Burlington Coat Factory, and all of their winter coats are like half off. Or if you're shopping for swimsuits, in the winter, I got a swimsuit for about $6 for the top and the bottom. So I'm a super sale shopper. Don't buy clothing at regular price, and she touched on that. So Forever 21, I used to shop there a lot in high school, and I would close my eyes and walk straight to the sales. I find tons of good stuff, and then I go try on. I usually find what I was ready to spend money on, and then I would just walk right out. So I don't have to see it. I don't have to be like, oh man, I really wanted that, but And then so for online, be wary of the shipping costs when shopping. So online or through catalog. Person has a good
Yeah, okay, so this just happened last week, actually. I got an email about some soaps that were on sale. They were $50, and normally they're like $12. So I was like, this is an awesome deal. So I decided that I was just going to buy a couple. Came in my cart, was checkout. Shipping was $10. So my $3.50 soap was now like a $16 or $17 purchase just because of the shipping. So it's important to take that into consideration, where if I think I'm spending or saving money by, getting this soap that's on sale, if I'm paying $10 for shipping, am I really saving? Because I could go into the store and get 6 of those for not having to pay the shipping price. So just keep that in mind when you're online shopping, because the shipping costs can really get you.
Okay, buy less clothing and purchase items that last longer. So, as an example, the jacket that I'm wearing, I've actually had for about 4 years, and it's about $35, but I haven't got I think I've gotten what it was worth out of it for still having it. It hasn't ripped yet, so it's
Yeah, I don't think I've even that jacket.
So buy clothing that's washable and easy to care for. I know, at least for me and Kirsten, we talk about this all the time. We go shopping and we'll throw everything in the washer, put it in the dryer, we pull it out, and my shirt is about this big now. And I'm like, oh man, I just got the shirt, and now it's like teeny. So if you can buy clothes that you don't have to worry about that, or always wash your clothes in cold water, you can avoid that, or maybe tumble dry them for a minute and then just lay them out, so you can avoid that, because then you just waste your money with strings and it doesn't leave anymore. So that also goes with follow the washing directions. So if you have nice clothes, always check. When I wash my husband's nice t-shirts, I'm always like, okay, tag, cold water, lay it out to dry, stuff like that. Okay. When I get done with my day at work, I always go home and change. Not only do I want to be comfortable when I'm at home, I also don't. I've got a big dog. I don't want to get my hair over. I don't want to rip my clothes, stuff like that. So I always change. Stop buying what you don't need. That's pretty easy. So when you go shopping, don't fear returning your clothes. I have a lot of friends who are embarrassed when they have to take things back. They feel kind of dumb. Which is also why we have to always try them on. It's not always fun if you're going on a little shopping spree and you're gonna have a big pile of clothes. Trying them on is kind of exhausting actually by the time you're done. But if you try them on, you can avoid having to make a second trip back to return them. And sometimes you look at something and you're like, wow, this is really cute, or I think this will look really well. You don't try not to take it home and put it on, and you're like, no. So try to avoid that. Find your shop at a consignment store. So there's DI, there's Savers, Burlington Coat Factory, I always find really good sales there. Ross has really good sales. And then you can always donate your own items to charity, and don't forget a tax deduction with that as long as you remember to get a receipt. So DI, if you drop off your stuff, they'll hand you a receipt and you can put that with your taxes. There's part of it uploaded. So try to go, so the district or Fort Union, those are places where there's a lot of shopping stores close by each other. I would like to go to those because if I have more than one place I want to shop at, I can just kind of pop over, so it saves me on gas and time. And it gives me more options to choose from. So again, that's what the second one, group your shopping trips together. Don't let people sway your decisions when you go shopping. Me and her were talking about this. Anytime we take girlfriends with us or sisters, you put on a couple things, you're showing off, like, does this look good on me? And they're like, oh, you should totally get that, and you're kind of feeling iffy about it. You're going to be a little bit swayed. Well, she thinks it's really cute, so maybe I should get it. But if you don't love it, don't get it. I always say that to myself when I shop. I'm like, if I don't love it, I'm not getting it. It has to be a 10. And stick to your budget. And avoid using your credit card or even a debit card. If you can get cash and say, okay, like I'm going to go on this spending spree, these are what I need. I'm going to take $50 and that's all I'm going to spend. So take your cash, that way you can't be like, well, it's only a couple dollars more, I'll just slide my debit card or credit card. So if you buy, only spend what you have. So I think with clothes, that's really important to stick to your budget because they're super easy to just, woo. So
Okay, so I'm going to hit on groceries a little bit, and there's quite a few slides for this, so bear with me, but I think it will be good stuff. Okay, so the first one, buy in bulk, take advantage of case lot sales. This is going to give you the most amount of product for the least amount of money. So we always, if, do you want to explain case lot?
Yeah, so case lot sales, when I did it, I've only done it once. I just got married about 1.5 years ago, and right before I got married, my mom was telling me about the case lot sales, and we went to Macy's, the grocery store. So case lot sales, you can buy, it's like a big box full of it's like probably it's like 20 cans, but they have deals on it, and so I'm still using. So I got cans of corn, I got cans of beans, I got cans of chicken, the cream of mushroom soup, you get all that stuff and stock up on it. So I've been here 1.5 years and stocked up on stuff, and I'm still using that now, and I haven't had to go back yet. So going strong on case lot sale.
And that's good to kind of help you build a little food storage if that's something that you're interested in doing as well.
Yeah.
Avoid expensive cuts of meats, so just make sure that you're looking at the prices. Yeah.
Comment on that. They're actually doing case lot sales right now, so.
Oh, are they? Perfect. There you go. Is that Macy's?
Everywhere.
Oh, everywhere? Oh, perfect. Okay, awesome. That's great to know. Eliminate convenience foods. Not only can these get kind of expensive, but they're also really unhealthy for you. They're high in fat and sodium. These can be like frozen meals. This could be like fast food. Anything that would be kind of considered a convenience for you. Consider buying generic brands. So Lindsay actually put up these Equate wipes up here to use as an example. This is what she uses to take her makeup off.
They're way cheaper than
Yeah.
the Neutrogena, and you get a ton more. Like those 2 packages are taped in like a big thing together, so you get 2, and those last me for a time. I use one a night, so
Right.
they last.
Okay. Take advantages of resources like community gardens and farmers markets, or plant your own garden. This is going to ensure, obviously, that you're eating a little bit healthier. It's going to be cheaper for you, and then also with farmers markets and community gardens, it's kind of nice to be supporting local businesses. So there's a couple.
Yeah. If you don't have like a yard, or you feel like you don't have a big plot of land where you can go, for the last 2 years, I've planted my garden in just pots. So I buy my pots on clearance at Smith's or Lowe's or Home Depot. Some things do not grow as well. What I do is my tomatoes grows them really well. So it's my cucumbers and my zucchini that have a hard time in the pots because they like to spread out. But tomatoes do really well in the pots. If you like lettuce or spinach, what I will do is I'll buy like a $3 bag of soil. I'll poke or stab like 4 holes in the bottom of the bag, and then I'll cut out 4 squares, little squares on top. And then I'll put my seeds in there, and my lettuce will come out of those little squares. And then when I water it, the soil is able to drain out the bottom, and I'm actually able to get the spinach and spread the lettuce. So,
I was just going to say that olive oil has soil sometimes,
okay.
but you have to catch it right at the right time because they go really fast.
Okay, so the dollar store has soil.
Yeah.
And sometimes they have pots actually. There's kind of menu, and then
I know they have like quite a few community gardens, and I think they're free. You just have to like be volunteer and work at them, and then you can get.
so that might be another good way to teach your kids as well how to work. Get out in that garden. Thank you guys.
Okay, use a shopping list. I personally feel like this is one of the most important things you can do. A lot of the problems that we have with spending too much money at grocery stores is impulse purchases. So if you have a shopping list, this kind of hits all 3 bullets that I have left here. You're not going to buy more than you need, hopefully. And again, like Lindsay said, if you can shop with category groceries, again, you will be sticking to that grocery list and sticking to your budget of what you know you can spend on food for that week or month or whatever it is that you choose to do. Use existing food in the home. This kind of comes back to the whole like case lot thing, or if you have a food storage. We call them the avoid moving them to eat syndrome when we're looking into your fridge and odds are probably there is something to eat, right? Plan on leftovers. A lot of times we kind of set those in the fridge and they move to the back, and then by the time we realize that we have them, we can't eat them anymore. So just kind of try and remember what you have. Obviously, if you're in food storage, that needs to be rotated. So don't forget about that as well. Select and use coupons carefully. You can find coupons everywhere. Like Shauna said, going to the store, they'll often have those little inserts that have the coupons on them. Lindsay and I are talking, maybe we'll both get them in the mail. So that's a good place to look for them. If you get the newspaper delivered to your house, they'll often have coupons there. Online, you can get coupons. So you can find coupons a lot of places. And the fun thing about coupons is that you can do a lot more with them than most people think. Like a lot of times, ask your stores, because obviously not all of them are going to participate, but I've heard about stores like doubling coupons so that they're twice, they cover twice as much as what like the original coupon would say. So make sure you kind of know what's going on, talk to store managers, and kind of get more information that way.
It never hurts to ask too.
Right.
A lot of people, my dad will always talk about how my mom has saved him a ton of money by just asking. Because the worst they can say is no. So like, bummer, and maybe try next time. But if they say yes, then maybe you save $10. Maybe you save. I know Shauna has bought a stainless steel garbage can, and those are normally $50, and she got it for $15. So she saved a ton of money on that by just asking if you can price match this. Always ask if you have opportunity.
And then prepare food from scratch. Often you kind of think this is like a little bit of pain, but it's usually healthy for you. It's less expensive most of the time, and it usually tastes better. So there's multiple reasons.
Homemade noodles. Those are the best.
Okay, and then plan meals in advance and shop alone and after you eat. This kind of goes back with shopping with a list, but make sure you kind of know exactly what you need. And then obviously we all know if you go to the grocery store when you're hungry, everything looks good. So we're going to be way more impulsive with our purchases if we're doing something like that. Find a thrift bakery in your area. A lot of times the grocery stores will just do this. If the bread has been sitting out for a day, they technically can't sell it for full price anymore. So they'll knock it down to like 99 cents or $1 or whatever. So check the date. So check the date of bread, because it's only been sitting out for a day. It's not old, it's not stale. They just can't sell it for full price. So you'll save a lot of money that way as well. Use unit pricing. So I don't know how many of you guys know about this, but this is just a little example of some price tags I have up here. This is for ketchup, just as an example. So the original prices of these are $3.09 and $2.29, and a lot of times we'll see something and we'll be like, okay, well this one is bigger and it's more expensive, but I don't know if I'm getting a good deal on it or what. So if you look at the unit price, which is right here and right here, it's going to tell you how much it costs per ounce. So you can see just by this unit price that the $6.94 is going to be more than the $6.54. So even when they're on sale, and this might even be more confusing because you're like, well, it looks like, they both might be a pretty good deal. You can tell the one on the left is $6.94 or $6.49 per ounce, and the one on the right is $5.97 per ounce. So you're going to be saving more money if you can look at these unit prices and see which one you're getting more for your money, if that makes sense. So I always look at these when I'm buying like toilet paper or paper towels, because they all come in different sizes and have different amounts in them, and I never know which one's the best deal. So I always look at how much it is. Usually, like the toilet paper will be per roll, and so that's kind of how you know you're getting the best deal on whatever one you decide to purchase. And then the given last one, drink more water is better for you in this group.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
The second point says shop alone, and after you didn't cover why you should shop alone.
Shopping alone. Again, this kind of goes with impulses a little bit. Like we were talking about with clothing, it's a lot easier when you're like, oh, this bag of chips, and someone's like, yeah, that sounds great. Or, I know shopping with my dad, he's the grab everything and throw it in the cart, even if it's not on my mom's list kind of person, right? So, do you want to add anything else to?
Well, I know for me, I tend to kind of wander when I grocery shop, and that too because I'm just kind of first starting like with the family stuff and like grocery shopping. I kind of look through the aisles and I'm like, did I miss something on my list? But that tends to get me in trouble because I end up spending more. But if I give a shopping list to my husband Connor, he's in and out of there in like 20 minutes. So he's shopping himself, he's in there, he's got, his eyes on the price, he gets it, he gets out. So Oh, okay, so medical expenses. So first, obviously, remember good health habits. So this is washing your hands. This is smoking less, drinking less, drinking more water, trying to have a good diet, exercising, stuff like that. Another one, we can learn symptoms of common diseases and don't delay seeing a doctor. So it can just be simple things like, oh, I think the cold might be coming on, or the flu, or strep. These are like common things that a lot of us have had before, so we could be like, you might be getting strep, so if you can catch it early and see your doctor, you can not spend it or spread it to other people, and then you can get it fixed faster by getting to see the doctor. Take advantage of wellness programs and health screenings. Do you want to touch on that?
Sure. Sometimes, so lately there's kind of in communities, there's a big push just to be healthy. And a lot of times communities will offer free health screenings or free wellness programs. Sometimes it's through employers and sometimes it's through the actual city or the community in which you live. At the wellness programs or health screenings, sometimes they'll check your blood pressure. If you have problems with your blood pressure, it's a great way to go in and just get double checked and go in and get your checkup. Some of the health screenings I used to live in a community in northern Utah, they would do some preliminary blood tests. So if you were concerned about blood sugars or if you were worried about thyroid problems and things like that, you could go there, they would check your blood, and then if something were wrong, so that was free to do that. If something were wrong, then they would refer you to an attending physician. So check with your employers that way and also check with communities. A lot of times they'll have wellness programs or health screenings through elementary schools, middle schools, and high schools if you have children as well. And then contribute to a flex or a health savings account. These accounts are available typically to employers. The flex account is money that you can put in pre-tax, and then that money is used specifically for health expenses. It's a really good program of flexes if you have a deductible, if you have children that have to go in often. One caveat or something to be aware of with the flex account is that the money you put on your flex account has to be spent within that year. If you don't spend that money within that year, you lose it. A health savings account, those are available if you have a very high deductible health insurance plan. They can be available through your employer. If you have your own private health insurance through the marketplace, through the Obamacare, you can actually open a health savings account through your bank or through, they call them health trusts. Health equity is a really big one. But you can put money on there once it's pre-tax, so you're lowering your taxable income. The health savings is great because if you don't use all that money on your account that year, it becomes your savings account. In your savings account, you will earn interest. Sometimes I'll put them in an investment, so you can gain a little bit more interest in a regular savings account. And that money in the health savings account is yours for forever. So it just rolls from 1 year to the next year to the next year. And then if you have a major health emergency in 10 years, and you can slowly build it up, you can use that money to pay the hospital bills or the doctor's bills, and it doesn't then become a dire family emergency, because a lot of times health problems are what sinks families just because there's so much happening.
And I was just going to give a little example of like the flex coverage, just so you guys kind of understand if you are confused. But for instance, like I wear contacts, but my insurance will only cover every year either for me to buy contacts or for me to get glasses. And so if, like, let's say next year I decide I'm going to want a new pair of glasses as well as new contacts, if my dad knows, then he will just put money into that flex account so that that year I can buy glasses as well as buy contacts, and it won't cost us as much money, kind of thing. So.
Okay, so as for generic prescriptions, and so Kirsten's younger sister is actually working to be a pharmacist. And I'll let you do
Yeah, I actually texted her today because I thought we had an example for why generic prescriptions are a better option, that it would kind of sink in more. So I asked her what a common generic prescription was, and she said that the most common generic prescription to get is for the Ambien sleep aid medicine. So I asked her the cost of them, like with and without insurance. So without insurance, the cost of the Ambien brand pill is over $400 for 30 pills. The generic one is about $20 to $30 for 30 pills. With insurance, the Ambien brand is about $100 to $200. Did I say without? I meant without, I didn't say. I mean with, sorry. And then the generic is $0 to $15 with insurance. So I just think, because sometimes we're like, oh, it's not going to be like, save us that much money to ask for a generic, but I highly encourage, even if you don't know if that prescription has a generic brand to it, I very highly encourage that you ask for the generic prescription if possible, because it could save you a ton of money in the end. So.
Yeah, I've done that with allergy medication. If I get the generic Zyrtec, it's like $5 to $6 versus if I got the original Zyrtec, it's like 25 to 30. So it's quite a bit of money. So look for those. Get a second opinion for any major medical procedures. So personal experience for me, I actually had to have surgery on my feet 3 times. And in fact, when I had the first one, when I was first doing it, I was in 5th grade. And me and my mom probably went 3 or 4 doctors before we found somebody that we actually liked. But it's not just somebody that you can trust, but somebody that you're comfortable with. I've met a couple of weird doctors where I'm like, being a little 5th grade girl, I don't want to feel uncomfortable with my doctor, especially when I'm going under for a big surgery. So shop around for stuff like that. So again, shop around for health insurance. Find out if your job provides benefits. It's not very hard. You can just make a phone call and say, they'll ask you a couple of questions. How old are you, male or female, smoker, non-smoker, just like a couple of generic things, and then they'll let it go. And so you can just kind of compare the couple that you chose to do and see where you can get the best coverage and the best price. And keep track of all your medical expenses, your hospital doctor and dentist bills. Check in to make sure they didn't overcharge you for anything. I went and had something done at the doctor's, and the day that I went, they were giving 30% off. So I saved a lot of money with that.
Okay, so we'll talk about transportation now. So some basics, wash your own car. If you can learn some basic vehicle maintenance, even if that's how to install some things into your car so you can save cost on labor, that could greatly help you. I know my Skylight went out like a couple weeks ago, and my dad was able to take off the cover of the new light and close it. So even though we had to go buy the light, it saved us a ton of money, so we didn't have to take it into like a mechanic or anything like that. Keep tires inflated properly and check your oil. This is just to make sure that you don't run into any unexpected problems that could potentially cost you more money. Reduce the amount of driving if you can, combine errands, use carpool or public transportation. So all of these are a great idea. If you can reduce the amount of driving, that not only saves you money on gas, it's also going to save you some wear and tear on your car, which is going to save you money in the long run. Carpooling and public transportation, obviously we have tracks, we have a great public transportation system here in Utah. Carpooling to schools or to work or wherever you can combine trips is a good idea. Lease with caution. Leasing cars for some people works. If you're someone who wants to get a new car every year, then leasing would probably be a good option for you. However, we encourage if you're going to have a car for a longer period of time, if you lease, it could potentially cause you to be paying more money in the long run. So while leasing is good for some people, it may be more expensive for other people, depending on kind of what your habits are, how long you plan on keeping your car, and things like that. Research before you purchase a vehicle. Obviously, price comparison, deciding what you need versus kind of what you're wanting. If a little basic car is going to work for you, that's awesome. You'll save money by not purchasing something that you're not going to need or that you won't use as much. Avoid making late payments on your loan. This is just going to cause you to pay interest on interest, and you're going to be taking longer to pay off your loan for your car. And then making extra payments on your loan if you can afford them. So anything helps. If you can make extra payments, obviously that's just going to make your loan payment go quicker, which will be saving you money and hassle in the end. Make sure that your vehicle is properly insured. This is multiple reasons for this. One, in Utah, you have to have insurance in your car. And also, if you get in an accident, you're going to want insurance coverage to obviously cover the other person if you're in an accident, as well as cover yourself if you have enough money to afford that. Ensure you always have your current driver's license and your car is up to date on registration. Again, this is a legality thing. You have to have your driver's license and your car registration. And tickets, if you don't have them, which will obviously be costing you money. Again, maintain a steady speed when you're driving. That's going to save you on gas. Don't speed, avoid the ticket. Tickets for speeding are expensive. And keep your car longer. If you want to sell, consider selling it yourself, because you could potentially make a bigger profit off of that than trading it into the dealership.
And there are resources available for assessing value of what you buy for what you should pay for a used car, as well as what you could sell your car for.
Okay, so utilities. Turn down your thermostat when you aren't at home or when you're going to bed. It does get cold at night, especially in the winter, but if you keep it at like 69, something that's lower, so if you're in bed, you're in blankets and more socks and a jacket, stuff like that. So that can save you money. So wearing slipper jackets inside, if you are trying to save that little extra money, bundling up in your house, not always the funnest, but it will save you money. Take shorter and cooler showers. So I have a friend who will shampoo her hair and then turn off the water, and she'll wash, and then she'll turn on the rinse. And she found out that a year it would save her $150 a year and 4,500 gallons of water a year. So it does save you money. It might be a little chilly. She uses a space heater, so that helps. Maintain and clean your furniture regularly. So that'll just help you take good care of it and last longer. Wash clothing in cold water, we kind of hit on that. And don't overdrive, so again, those are just going to up your electric and heat expenses. So you're being a close drying set. And then insulate your ceilings, your walls, your floors. We found this cool picture up here. You can see, so this is where in your house you lose heat. So 35% is just from your walls. So just by having insulation, that'll help a lot. It's keeping the outside air out and the inside air in. Okay, using curtains, so again, that keeps hot air out, cold air in, or vice versa. Closing doors, we have a guest room in our house, and I close the vents in there because we don't need heat or air unless somebody's staying in there, so we don't do that in that room. So that'll save us. Turning your lights off. Installing smoke detectors and having a fire extinguisher on hand, so if there's ever a fire, you can put it out, save expenses on if your house burns down or stuff like that. And then save all your warranties, owner's manuals, and receipts. So this could be for a vacuum, your phone, just anything. So you can either fix it yourself, you can figure out maybe what's wrong, or the part that you might need, and you can figure out maybe you can't fix it yourself.
Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about management now. So obviously, choose activities that are free or cost a small amount. So we'll give you guys some examples in the next couple slides of some like fun activities that we came up that you guys can do with your families and stuff like that. Check your state and city websites for upcoming events. So did you have an example?
I grew up, me and my family always went to Country Fest. I actually can't remember the exact place, I was pretty little. But it's in South Jordan, and we look forward to that every year. They have sheep riding. You can run around and chase calves, and they have ribbons on them, and you can actually chase however many ribbons. The blue ones are like $5, the gold ones are $20. You can catch the grease pig, and so it gives opportunity for the kids to earn money, and it's also free to go. They do have booths all around, so you can go get food, you can get ice cream. People are selling different things, so it's kind of fun to look at all the booths and then all the activities. It's like a big country party, so and horse pulling, so fun stuff like that. I love that growing up.
Or like the state fairs, or if your city does a real fair or rodeo or something like that. Take a family vacation during the off season. One, this will save you money if you are going when not a lot of other people are going, as well as it won't be as crowded. So Disneyland, for instance, if you're going to go when it's a little bit colder outside, there's not going to be as many people there as in the middle of the summer. So go camping for weekends. Again, this is just a fun way to kind of get out. It's a cheap way to have some fun and entertainment for a weekend with your family. And then national park passes. $80 a year for access to 2,000 sites, which is a pretty awesome deal because this allows you to travel pretty much all over the country and be able to see things you couldn't see. And then free to members and dependents of the military, which is pretty awesome. And then these are just some kind of like fun ideas that we have that you could do with your families. So join 4-H and complete projects as a family, make puppets, scrapbooks, attend free cooking classes, have potluck dinners, and then take snacks to movies if they allow it. Sometimes they don't let you sneak those little goodies in. Put it in your purse. Yep. And then go to manatee movies, or matinee, oh my gosh, or $5 Tuesdays, because those are going to save you a lot more money than going on evenings or even on weekends. Those are going to be more expensive movies to go to.
So I have kid to attend class cooking, good. I don't know what it is. So do you have somewhere you can know?
They have like culinary.
The U.S. Extension has lots of it.
Yeah.
They have, so the U.S. Extension has lots of free cooking classes throughout the valley, and they teach them on a daily basis. So I can get a schedule for you, and then you could say, oh, they're making this recipe and I really like to learn how, and you can go to that location and learn how. Do you like using the computer? Sometimes. So there's websites like Eventbrite, or if you just get free cooking classes in Salt Lake, it will pop up with the whole calendar. But I will check and give you a schedule for the U.S. Extension classes. It makes good stuff. They do. We always smell it.
Okay, so try to go out for lunch instead of dinner if you are going to eat out, just because lunch menus oftentimes are going to be less expensive than the dinner menu. Cook a meal with your family.
So I have up their Rhodes Rolls nights. I don't know if you guys have seen it like Walmart. They got the Rhodes Rolls, just a bunch of like frozen rolls. I grew up with this. All of us kids would get really excited because mom would be like, Rose Roll night, and then all of us would roll out our dough and we'd make breadsticks and pizza benders and cinnamon sticks. And so it's just kind of fun for the kids to feel like they're doing an activity. They're also learning how to cook, and Rose Rolls are very expensive. So I love that for them.
Play board games, visit the library, read together, and then spend time outside. That's my favorite one. Obviously, that's when you burn and you get to be outside in the sun, so I love that one.
Okay, so some other expenses that you can cut on. You can cut hair at home. I've got a lot of friends who cut hair. My mom grew up cutting her hair, so I learned from them. If you can arrange schedules so that maybe mom or dad can stay home with the kids while the other one is working, you can have to trade off shifts like that. You can save money on childcare. And then recycling, so find uses for old things. So maybe an old bath towel you can use to wash your car, or give it to your dog for a dog blanket. Don't buy a house that you can't afford, that'll just get you in trouble. If you have the money, pay extra on your mortgage. That'll just help you get it paid off quicker. And have your paychecks be directly deposited into your account. She touched on earlier that and that also, so with your bills, if you can have your bills be taken out automatically, you don't see the money, so it's a lot easier if it just goes out and it's separate. So part of it goes to savings, that goes to rent. Then you don't always feel like you're losing money or don't have a lot. It just nothing does it for you. Fewer of home shopping networks on the TV, so they're not always real, and sometimes it looks like a really big deal, but if you can just avoid, you don't always have to, but if you can avoid those extras and just go without. Consider the cost of your habits. So girls getting your nails done, smoking, drinking alcohol, maybe your coffee run every morning, those get expensive. So if you can do less, then they'll save money on that. Take advantage of discounts for your employer. So I actually didn't know this when I was selling this when we were making this car fighter. That was really cool. So for your employers, you can get gym memberships, sometimes concert tickets or passes for things. So if that's available to you, definitely take advantage of that. And then pay more than your minimum payments on debts. So if you have the money, you can pay more, and you're just paying it off quicker. So when you're needing cash at the ATMs, if you can use one that's from your bank or your credit union, we advise that. Like, me and my husband were out the mall the other day, and he's like, oh, I'm gonna run and quickly get some cash. And we went up and he says, $20 or whatever it was, and the fee was $8 to take it out. So for him and I, we're kind of like, what? So we didn't end up doing that. So if you absolutely have to, if you're taking out a bigger chunk of money, let's say you're taking out $150 and the fee's $5, maybe that's worth it to you. Maybe it's not. So just watch for those extra fees. Always send them for rebates.
Yeah, so I'll touch on this one a little bit. A lot of things that you buy will have rebates associated with them. One example that I have is my contacts that I get every year. So, I'll pay a certain amount for my contacts, and then usually they'll offer me a rebate of $50. So all I have to do is cut the ends off of every box of contacts that they give me, which is like 4. Send it into their company, and they'll send me $50 back. And a lot of times people don't do this because they're like, well, I don't really want to go through that work, or, I feel like I shouldn't be taking this money or whatever. But a lot of people don't take the rebates, and then they're just missing out on their money. So if I didn't send it in, I wouldn't get $50, which, $50 is like whatever. But for me, I'm going to get that $50. So it's really easy most of the time. You just have to, give a serial number, or, like I said, clip off something from the box and send it to them, and they'll send you a check with the money. So
all of us girls kind of have a little joke in their office where we'll be talking about saving money or not getting our money back from something, and maybe it's $20, and we're like, that's a tank of gas, that's a new pair of shoes. We'll just list off all these things, and we're like, I need to save that $20. Yeah. So beware of discount store syndrome. So this is actually something I think I definitely have. A lot of times I'll be sell shopping and be like, oh, all these good things are on sale, maybe I can spend more because it's a better deal. But again, just stick to your budget. Just be aware of that, because it's pretty easy to run with that sales price. Consider buying used items instead of new. So up here we've got KSL classifieds. That's local. And I've been on there a lot looking for furniture that people aren't using, or growing up with my dad was trying to find dog kennels or chicken fencing, stuff like that. He'd always get really good deals on KSL. I actually found my dog on KSL, so I was thrilled about that. Saves a lot of money. You can also find ads in the newspaper with good deals. Craigslist is another one. But just remember, be careful and safe. Maybe always take somebody with you if you're meeting somebody to buy furniture or stuff like that. So just be worried of that. And then shop for Christmas year-round. Not only does it save you money on buying things year-round when the sales are going on, but you also can avoid the crowds during the Christmas season. So,
okay, so generating extra income, recycle scrap metal. So a lot of people don't realize they can get money for their scrap metal, so that's kind of a cool thing. Open a childcare business. I think this is really cool, especially if you have children, because if you can watch your children at your own business, that's going to save you money, obviously, on having to pay childcare. Sell crafts, jewelry, arts, or photos at a farmer's market. Honestly, this can be anything that you are talented in. If you can sew, if you can make jewelry, anything like that you can just make a little profit off of at the farmer's market or something like that. Start a small business like lawn mowing or pet walking. This can just be as simple as, knocking on your neighbor's door and being like, are there any chores that you need me to help you with? Just little things like that, watching neighbors' kids while they're working, anything like that. Rent out a room in your home if you have extra space, and obviously if it's safe for your family and for your children as well. Share or trade talents with friends or family. So instead of saying, if you're watching my kid, I'll pay you to watch my kid, be like, thank you for watching my child, I'll mow your lawn for you now. So kind of trading services for services rather than services for money.
okay, so the next thing we have is the step-down principle. So this was a saving strategy that was developed by a professor. Her name is Alina Johnson. She's at USU. So this is just a way, we start at the top and just go down the staircase as to the most expensive and see how far we get to the least expensive. So we're going to start with movies. So, yeah, okay, there. So the first one would be like a premiere showing. So those can range from like $8 to $10, maybe $12. And then our next one is $5 Tuesdays at the theater. And then we've got the dollar theater, which is $1, sometimes like $1.25 or something. And Redbox, which is I think $1.25, maybe $1. And then Barn from Friend or any public library is free. So if you can make it, and this could be for anything, this could be buying a dog. So start with a good breeder and work your way down to a free puppy that you find on KSL, or a friend knows somebody who has puppies for sale, stuff like that. So you can do that with a lot of things. So that helps with budgeting too. So if you can get the lowest cost possible, I like to do that. So, okay.
And then lastly, just kind of as a wrap up, we have these little questions that you can ask yourself before you do choose to buy something. Can I do without it? Can I postpone this purchase to maybe next month when I'm going to have more money to spend? Can I substitute something else that costs less? Again, this might be like a generic brand of something. Can I use my own skills to make it myself? Just as like a quick example, I wanted to get a wool wreath for my front door, and I went to the store and they were about $50 to $60, and that was not going to work for me. So I went on Pinterest and like found all the supplies, and I ended up spending $15 by making my own wreath. So just little things like that, like if you can do it yourself, you might save some money on that. And then, do I already own it? So, and that's it. So you guys.
To learn more or to find a class, visit slcolibrary.org/smartinvesting.